of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the first Christmas episode of 2022. And we've got a couple low energy ones. Oh, that's right, I forgot I had green screen.
I was wondering, like,
Wait, what? Oh, so like I can't.
you're like
So I've got
fading in and out.
I've got
What are you doing?
I've got green lights going.
You have crow.
Yeah,
What is happening to you?
it would appear that this combination was a mistake, and I also didn't catch that.
It does look
As
kind of
soon
cool though,
as-
with your faces going like
As
that.
soon as it started, I was like, "What the fuck?"
You
is
know
that?"
what? I'm just gonna fucking keep it that way. I don't care. Whatever. I'm like monochromed out in the background, but that's cool. What's up, Joel? How are you doing, buddy? Mr.
Joel.
Bucci. You do
We're
not
still-
want to
oh,
cross
shit, hold
Mr.
on.
Bucci. What's up?
Let me.
Giovanni forgot we were live. He was about to whip
No,
it
no,
out.
we're still cleaning up because my wife is not done putting up decorations, but we got the tree.
Oh,
there it
it spins.
Yeah, so I Jimmy rigged it. Our old tree spun, but the new tree doesn't. So I had to fit the system so the new tree would spin.
Good thing
And
you
it
don't
fell
have
on me
cats.
twice already.
Oof.
Twice because I didn't do it right, but we got it.
Very nice.
We're putting our tree up. We bought a fancy fake tree.
This is a fake one.
We
That's a fake one.
normally do real trees. We have a fake one for downstairs, but we use a real one for upstairs. And we were just like, you know what? Every time we get a real one, it's got one side of it that's all fucking pushed in and not good. And we were last year we had talked about just getting a fake one because we liked ours so much. And then of course we talked to my dad and he's like, well, let's get a nice one. And he sends us this fucking link to this $230 one. So we have a $230 tree waiting to be put up this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, we still
Pre-lit.
got our tree in the basement. Got to bring it up, and then
Is it
my
just
tree's
white?
sitting in the box over there.
Oh fuck
It's
no!
just
It's
white
our,
lights?
no. Ours should be colored lights, and so literally Jen found one that was like $50 cheaper, and I'm like, what the fuck is the difference between these two? It comes down to they literally tell you the branch count,
Yep.
and the one we bought was like fucking 1,200, and the one that we were looking at for cheaper was like 180, not 180, 800. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's going to look nice, whatever. And then my dad was like, yeah, they at work, they bought this same fucking tree, and it looks wonderful. And it's like, well, we'll get it up this weekend.
So we get this one home.
Relax.
I talked my wife into this one. It doesn't spin. We get it home and she gets pissed. Like, this is why you want this fucking tree? Because you can switch from white lights to colored lights.
Nice.
That's cool.
And that's Christmas to me. Like the colored light shit.
I like colored lights.
We had
Yeah,
that
me too.
conversation on Thanksgiving too, right? Where I like
Yeah.
the colorful lights, and my wife's like, "Why I like white lights."
See, I
Yeah.
agree. To me, a white light is just a fucking light bulb. Like every
Mhm.
light in our life is either yellow or white. I
It's
want
just bright light.
color. I want Christmas tree color. Like I don't have them up yet, but I am gonna get Christmas lights up. I gotta buy them this weekend, which I know it's literally the worst fucking time in the world to buy Christmas
Yeah, dude,
lights.
you are like, holy shit.
But I don't have a
So
choice.
now, here's my question. Do you guys like the LED multicolors or the iridescent, or not iridescent,
These are the
incandescent?
LED because
like
they
the
last
LED.
longer. But I remember the incandescent, and I think the incandescent are better.
I think the warmness of the incandescent works better on the outside of the house because it's already cold out.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the inside, the LEDs are better because they're better. There's less of a risk of it lighting your fucking tree on fire. And I like LEDs. They're brighter. Jen is different. She only likes incandescent. She punches.
Well, the
she goes and
LED
finds
that's
LEDs and punches
The only
them.
reason we got
Yep.
LEDs is because they last. I know they're not gonna break. This also has the system where one goes out, the whole fucking tree doesn't go out.
Our
Yeah.
our tree is
Yeah.
supposed to have that too.
I
Yeah.
But
think the
I
new ones are
was-
like that.
I was looking at our tree because I did open the box, and it does say that
What's in the
even
fucking
if
box?
even if a bulb does go out, you should replace it right away to lessen the chance of
Yeah.
voiding the warranty and the strand going out, which doesn't make sense because you're literally guaranteeing me that my tree will stay lit if one bulb goes out.
I'm gonna put it this way: if one goes out, we're ripping them off and restringing the fucking thing. I don't care. I'll put a whole nother layer of lights. I got creepy matte faces behind me. I'm good. This one particularly,
That
not
last one,
happy.
yeah.
That's like the Malcolm X version of my fucking face. The fuck is going on here? Damn you, green screen! You guys like the snowflakes and shit?
It's nightmare fuel on the stream.
Because you got fucking snowflakes and other green screen shit. It's literally because these fucking snowflakes overlay I got on us that I look like I'm about to be sucked into the third fucking dimension at any point.
It goes from if you're looking at the TV, like if you're looking at the stream from left to right, it goes from nightmare fuel to exorcism.
Yeah.
All right, so
he keeps losing the back of his head.
What's a Christmas pairing that I can put? Blue and yellow? I don't even know. See, now it's going into nightmare fuel now. Holy shit. Whatever. It's a catastrophe.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
I don't know. We're just going to try everything until nothing works. There we go. We can keep this. At least you can. It's not. Okay, this guy's got a bit of a problem now. And we've switched to the problem case. Fuck him. All right, that's better than the green. The green just looked like I had fucking Necronomicons right above me. So, let's start this off. We'll probably do this every episode, but what we'll ask different questions. What is the one Christmas movie that you guys through the holiday can just throw on any fucking time and just like its background and it's like, you know what I mean, that comfort Christmas movie?
For me, it's Christmas Story, but that's because I grew up on that. Like Christmas Story it's a classic answer because I grew up on it. I will say joining that or replacing that, 8-Bit Christmas has become a very good. Just throw it on, let it be. It's a great movie to do it.
See, we did start our Christmas movies with Daddy's Home 2 and Bad Moms, but we're going to start running through... I'm going to be so fucking burnt out on Christmas cheer by the end of this month, I'm going to go on a straight bender of nothing but violence after this month. That's why I want to do Tarantino. To wash the taste of Christmas out of my mouth, we're going straight to fucking Tarantino movies starting in January.
For my wife, it's actually Home Alone.
See, for me, this is kind of hard because I have actually been just randomly throwing on Christmas movies to help me fall asleep at night, help me unwind at night. Like I'll throw it on TV and I'll just come home and do some stuff on my laptop.
To my chagrin, because I come in there, I was like, we're supposed to watch these this month. What the fuck are you doing?
I had watched Bad Moms Christmas, I think maybe 2 or 3 times before Matt and I even watched it for this review. Fuck you. But I think my go-to would be the Santa Claus, and specifically it would be the first Santa Claus.
I think Lewis is as well, I'd imagine.
That's the best one. I love the Santa Claus.
I know. See, I've got several, like 8 Crazy Nights is oddly one of them. I like that movie a lot. It's technically kind of a musical too, in a way, or there's songs in it.
It's also a Hanukkah movie, not Christmas.
Really? What
Yes.
month do you think it fucking released in the States? You think it was October? December's not known as Hanukkah year. Nobody goes out to fucking every store on Black Friday and fights people for TVs for a Hanukkah cheer, okay? We're in a commercial state. It's Christmas in December. It's a Christmas movie. I guarantee you, the people who don't watch that movie are more than likely Jewish people. Nobody sits around and goes, let's watch it we'll light the candle, we'll watch 8 Crazy Nights. No, it's assholes like me who consider it a Christmas movie. Thank you for 8 Crazy Nights is one of Joel's favorite movies, and I'm sure he'd say it's a Christmas movie, and probably fuck Hanukkah. I don't know if he's on that Kanye trip or what his problem is, but did you guys, just real quick, did you guys catch any, I know you guys are caught what this psychopath is on about, right?
Dude, have you watched the fucking...
For one thing, he's basically,
Infowars,
he shows up to Alex Jones like an ISIS terrorist.
Yeah,
He's
I was
in
like,
his
what
black
is
mask,
he doing?
Yeah.
I control the way, I control my look, I'm like, what is happening?
And then literally when you have Alex Jones, like when he turned Alex Jones to Mike Myers from when he goes, George Bush don't like black people. He's doing the same thing for Jewish people, and Alex Jones is like, well, no. I mean, I believe there's a Jewish mafia, but I think most Jewish people are good people.
Even beyond that, when Alex Jones has to be the sane one to kind of reel it
in, he's over
like when he talks about
he does
Hitler
that too.
and
Hitler did some good things. What the fuck? Maybe if you were German in 42.
What?
uncomfortably. He's like,
no.
haha, okay. And I'm like, oh no.
Damn it, you are crazy.
Oh, no.
That's the thing is, for a while, I was like, maybe he's not crazy, and he just, something happened that really fucked with him. And then now it's like, no, he's clearly nuts. Like,
Yeah, he's nuts. That
like,
guy is.
when you're out there saying Hitler did good things, it's like, what, he had the train running on time in 41? Like, what the fuck good did Hitler do?
What scares me,
Kept people warm.
honestly, with the way he's acting now, if you watch that interview through his whole thing, he keeps referring to himself as a vessel for Jesus's message. It's
Well,
terrifying.
He thinks he's a
Yeah. He's a
reincarnation
vessel
of
for Jesus's message, right? Yet when they say, hey, you've worked with Valencia, who's now trying to make child porn mainstream in their ad,
That's
why don't you
another-
condemn
oh,
him?
man.
And he goes on a tirade about pornography while he's wearing a fucking Valencia belt buckle.
And how much sex he's had? I mean, he's had a lot of
Here's
sex.
the thing, right? when he does this and he goes out on Alex Jones and he shows his crazy, one thought: why was it Jason David Frank that took his life and not this fuckhead? I'm sorry. I'd rather have fucking White Ranger back than deal with this
I
cunt
know,
anymore. I don't care about, at this point, he's lost anybody who cares about like what could be truth and struggle in his life. Like, you can't go on TV and go, yeah, no, Hitler wasn't that bad, bro. But what I think, here's what I think he's doing though, is if it's not just sheer insanity, he's trying to, in my opinion, it's a poor ripoff of when Trump said there was some good people in the crowd and some bad people in the crowd. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing, is if it's not sheer insanity, then it's his own twisted fucking marketing plan that, as far as I could tell, is just lost in millions. But
his whole argument of like,
He's-
not everybody puts bad into the world. No, fuck, dude.
no, there are, yeah. Jeffrey Dahmer didn't put good into the world.
I know, like, what are you talking
Like
about?
Gacy, but he did give kids ice cream. What? Like,
Yeah,
you
dressed up
like
a clown.
it's that sort of thought ideology where it's like, no, Casey Anthony helped an old lady across. Sure, she murdered her baby, but she helped an old lady across the street. Like that. It's
my
that
God.
sort of fucking stupid logic. Back to the family Christmas movies. See, you are right though. You are right. I keep considering Bad Moms Christmas a family movie, and you want to know why? Because it is a fucking family movie that just has mothers saying the F word. By the way, I could not stand the chick that, by the way, we're in the review now, everybody. Didn't make that clear. We're reviewing Bad Moms Christmas. Jen, tell me were you annoyed by the loudmouth one who was trying her best to act like a dude?
Catherine Hahn?
Catherine
Yes.
Hahn.
Absolutely not.
The one
I
who plays
love Catherine
Agatha.
Hahn.
No, she's annoying. She can jump off a
Okay,
bridge.
No, I like her
this is
either.
going to sound bad, but women need to understand there is more to raunchy humor than every time she's at work going, if I see another pussy. How many times did she say that fucking line?
Yeah.
Waxing vagina.
Well,
And
because
I
I
feel
mean,
like-
she waxes pussies for a living at
Yeah,
a
but,
spa.
like-
But it's two separate scenes of her bitching about waxing pussies.
But I think the joke would have been better is if they show what she does at her job, and then it's subtle. Because then if you're smart enough, you'll pick up on it. I think it would have been a funnier delivery rather than her just spouting fucking multiple times.
Just do the joke once. Just do it once. Because here's the difference between a movie like The Hangover, which this is trying to be. It's the female version of the raunchy buddy comedy. Those movies are vulgar, yes, but they don't repeat the same joke 5 fucking times. And when they do, i.e. when a sequel's repeating the same territory the first one did, people bitch about it immediately. They go, it's the same shit as the first one. And like that's I do enjoy the female rated R comedy for what it tries to be, but the problem is there is inevitably a scene, like, by the way, it's sexist and unrealistic to put abnormally beautiful women as the leads, right? Like that's not proper because that's not what your normal woman looks like. Meanwhile, the main male lead in this movie, the Catherine Hahn's lover, interest, whatever,
Justin Hartley.
He's ripped and has a 2-foot dick. How is that realistic?
I mean, I'd fuck him.
Well, he would fuck you. Yeah, you wouldn't. You would be the catcher, I think.
But I do agree. Like,
He's not
it
my
was,
type. I'm a bear.
if you versus the other husbands, like even if you pull like a handsome guy into it, it was way out of place. It was like too
Well,
unrealistic.
but that's the problem. Is here's your in a female written comedy or whatever. Here's your male portrayal, and it's Chris Hemsworth in Ghostbusters, and it's this unrealistic 12-inch or 2-foot long dick, handsome ripped dude, like who happens to fall in love with somebody who works at a spa, who's got a 15-year-old kid, who, while she's not bad looking for her age, it's for her age. Okay, I would have seen him go for Goonies. The other what is the blonde girl?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell. Like,
She's another one I can't stand.
Would have been even funnier is
She's-
if you would have skipped the relationship between him and Catherine Hahn, and you just made it between him and the mother.
Yeah, Susan Sarandon.
Also, they should have done a sequel. The obvious, Bad Grandma's Vegas. Come on.
Yeah.
Another
would
thing,
be
the flow. So I'm glad you pointed out Hangover, because I was going to bring that up too. The flow in Hangover from joke to joke is really smooth. It's a smooth transition. In this one, it feels forced.
Here's
They're
the
just-
thing.
They're throwing it in there.
I don't think it's necessarily the fault of the writing. I think it's the fault of the scope of the movie. In The Hangover, you had an adventure going on, right? You had the find our guy, find our friend who's missing. There isn't that in this movie. This movie relies upon going through the day-to-day relationships of the kids. So it's a different movie in that regard. Story-wise, I don't think it's fair to necessarily say it's slow, because it's entirely different in the pacing, because, Hangover is literally, we've got 25 hours to find our best friend who's not missing before the wedding. And this is literally like countdown the last 12 days before Christmas type thing. Or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Or 6 days before Christmas. Starts off, the main struggle in the movie is she's ruined Christmas. So the whole movie's pacing is, let's throw in raunchy jokes while at the same time explain how we got here.
Which I don't see how that the Christmas was ruined by whatever she did, because I would have been the same way.
I'm sorry,
don't-
yeah.
That's
fuck
the
out of
other
my
thing
house.
too. Like, I don't see how that main point of Christmas is ruined. I don't see how that.
Well,
And fuck her children for screaming at her for saying that she did ruin it. Fuck you.
go live with your fucking dad. I don't care.
Don't get gifts this year. Go live with your fucking dad.
I'm gonna go fuck the guy that was in Hostel. Blow me. I don't remember his job.
Jay Hernandez.
Jay Hernandez. It's the only movie I know him from. I know he was in probably something Jen watched, right?
Crazy Beautiful. I don't think you've seen that though with me.
No, I don't think I have either, thankfully. Jen, what was your take on the mothers? Because you were the only one here that has a mother-daughter relation.
I don't know. I mean, in both Mila Kunis and
Mila Kunis.
Christine Baranski, and then Kristen Bell and Catherine Hines? No, Cheryl Hines.
Cheryl
excuse
Hines,
me,
yeah. Cheryl Hines loved her daughter too much, and my mom was the opposite. I feel like
So
if she could have pushed me into traffic for $50,
She didn't love her daughter very much.
Tim, no.
Nice one.
I feel that mine and my mom's relationship is a mix of both of their relationships. She is very much Cheryl Hines in the sense of, oh my gosh, I just love you so much. I want to see you all the time. But at the same time, she's also that, and I don't want to say nagging like Christine Baranski's character, but I don't know. What's the word for it,
Okay,
Matt?
Nagging.
Okay.
Smothering. Needing
Smother-
attention constantly like a cat.
Yes,
Or
they're
no, a dog.
they're-
Cats can be independent. Strike that. Reverse it.
Yes, where it always has to be about her. Like everything turns back around, and
Well, see, my
like,
mom was a mix. She had Susan Sarandon's trashiness, but Mila Kunis's mother's judgmental behavior. So, a little bit of a mix.
I didn't like any of the moms characters at all, and
Well,
two
by
of the
the
moms, I can't stand their actors at all. Actresses at all.
who?
Kristen Bell's mom and Mila Kunis's mom.
See, I can't stand Susan Sarandon, but she is a pretty good actress.
Yeah.
I don't like her, but she's not bad in her movies.
I don't like all 6 women in this movie.
You don't like Mila Kunis? Really?
I don't like her in this movie.
Yeah. Well, see, I actually thought she was the best one in this movie because she was the one that was like least putting it on. You know what I mean? Like least acting.
I can see that. I think she was the one most believable.
Yeah, she felt the most grounded. Like,
the situation and her.
Katherine Hine is like the over. Like, and don't get me wrong, I've met these women. Believe me, there are overly aggressive females. But like she that's why she was annoying to me because like overly aggressive females are fucking annoying. Frankly, overly aggressive dudes when they want to hang out with me or no, it's the same sort of behavior. Like, hey, accept me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm cool. It's like
the one mom, Sandy. That's what's her name, Kristen Bell's mom. She has like this Munchausen proxy like thing that she was doing that
yeah, I have
really
cancer.
Yeah, it really pissed me off about a person, like a character, and oh god.
Like I do enjoy this movie, but I enjoyed. If you haven't seen the original, I would give it a shot. Maybe not Giovanni because he seemingly just hates the entire fucking cast, production. Yeah. He hates the caterer. He wasn't happy with the key grip.
I watched the original. I don't like the original either.
Okay. I will say I do prefer the original because you don't have you have much more of a like we're moms and we're free. And this movie is essentially like, oh fuck, we're moms and we're tied down and we gotta make Christmas nice. Like, so the vibe in the first one is much more of a like, yeah, like life is beating us down. We need to stretch. Also, wasn't Christina Applegate, I thought, had a bigger role in the first one too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, she's like a main character.
She was like the protagonist or whatever, or antagonist.
Well, she cheats on her husband in it, right?
I
is that the movie where she does that?
Oh,
Christina Applegate, no.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jen, help me out here. What was what movie was she in where she cheats on her husband?
I don't think she cheats on her husband
in the first
Bad
one.
Moms.
I think in the first one, isn't Mila Kunis' husband the one that cheats on her?
That's what I thought, and Jen told me no.
So. I didn't say no. I just said I didn't know.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
You got a Google machine. You're always on it anyways.
But the one thing I got to say about this movie is, as far as the Christmas, we did this in 2015. I don't know if you remember, Giovanni, the Christmas that my family and I did not show up, but everybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all went, and it's because we wanted to just be ourselves for a fucking year,
selfish,
and
pigs.
not have to do anything. And we had such a fucking great time, just us as a family, the four of us, just fucking baking cookies, sitting at the house, watching movies together, and it was a good Christmas. And I got shit for it for the next actually this is next year because my mom.
What was this?
That's
is this where we went to our? That was where we went to our cousins, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything in a fucker. Like it doesn't matter.
It's funny because we don't really have extended family, so like it's always been just us. So I mean, we are going to my aunt's house. My aunt literally goes, "I'm not doing Christmas. I'm not having everybody over with the kids yelling. I'm not doing it, but I want to see you guys." So we're going, you guys and me and your other aunt, we're going to have Christmas dinner. You guys, we're all little Chicagoans. She was married to a fucking cop for a long time. So like, that's the whole thing. She's like, I just don't want to deal with the bull. Because normally it's everybody goes over the Christmas. They got all these fucking kids hollering and she's in the kitchen cooking the whole fucking time. So this year we're going to do it where we bring stuff. She makes a couple things, because we recently kind of reconnected where it was just like, let's go get lunch. And, like I said, we didn't really deal with extended family all that much after my grandfather died. When he died,
my in-laws, my sister-in-law was pregnant and she was about to burst at any time. So she tells her aunt, hey, we're going to do Christmas here. And her aunt's like, well, why can't you come to my house? Did you not just fucking hear what I told you? Like, I want to be closer to the hospital. We're going to keep it local.
Is this in Illinois?
Yeah.
So then you got icy road conditions. We were on the road around that time last year. It was rough.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Well, like the one year it was there was ice everywhere. The roads haven't been touched, and we go to my aunt's house, and we were literally were we on the way home, Jen, or were we on the way to her house when we saw?
We were on the way to her house.
This guy fucking turns and just spins out and goes into a ditch. Oof. I was like, holy fuck! Like, What
If
the
it's the
fuck?
icy
That
year,
year we saw a few. There was
The cop who
wait, maybe there were two
literally,
different years.
literally, he's in a gas station. It's snowing. It's fucking can't see. The plows aren't going through because it's 10:30 at night. And this cop just out of a gas station, and I laid on the horn, and she's like, "No, that's a cop." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. It's a cop who's gonna
So?
cause a wreck for me if by doing that. Fuck him."
if it's the same Christmas, I think, or the same holiday time, I think you're talking about. We were on our way to the in-laws, and an officer was getting on the highway, and from the on-ramp went across all 3 lanes of traffic and into the center medium. And like it was because of the ice. Like he clearly
Damn.
lost control mid-ramp. Like he
And just was floating. Like
yeah,
I'm
and
just gonna. But
yeah,
then you
like,
got
I was
that
like,
downward
holy
momentum.
shit.
Oh fuck, man.
The craziest thing I had happen to me with ice and shit was my mother was driving me to school when I was going to Gordon. It was my freshman year, and she took the shortcut through DeVry. And as she took the turn into there, it was fucking black ice, and
You
our
just
fucking car just started
On the,
spinning.
did you hit the? Did you go up on the curb?
We hit the little curb. That's what stopped us.
Oh,
And I'm just like, holy shit. And my mom goes, I saw it there, but I couldn't stop. And I'm like, yeah, you just fucking. I want to go back home now. I think I gotta change my shorts.
every year I give Jen a little bit of a scare because I'll wait until it's a little slick and I'll kick the ass end out of it. And last year I did laugh out loud because I go, she's like, "Stop it, that's scary, man." I was like, "Come on, admit it, it's a little fun." She's like, "All right, a little." It's still fun.
Just
Girls don't
leave
want to
it.
admit it,
Leave
but
it.
when you kick the ass end out of a Ford Escape, it's surprisingly fun. It's got 4-wheel drive. That's not supposed to happen.
My Rev has a front wheel, so I didn't purchase it. I bought it through
Well,
my brother-in-law.
Tim's is
So
a
I have to
front
go in
wheel.
reverse. I have to go in reverse to do donuts.
Tim's is a front wheel, but it's a heavy back end on the car. So you don't even need to give it a much speed. If you're just on like a side street corner, you hit that wheel, you give a little touch of gas, and it's going to kick out on you. Because it's such a heavy fucking car.
Has he gotten it stuck in snow?
No, I don't think he has actually.
Yeah, I've never gotten any of my cars stuck in snow. Like
Oh,
any
when
of
we
the
were
front
on
wheels or-
the north side, when Jen had the goddamn Aveo.
Yeah.
No, let's not talk about
Now
that.
what-
Let's go on with this review.
But now we have a snowblower though, so like if any of the cars, like back in the day, it was just me as a kid shoveling till my back burned, and like nowadays we got a snowblower where if we're buried in between the snowblower and having like a crossover, an SUV, it's easy to do. But with that Aveo, God, that Aveo could barely drive on the street with normal conditions.
Jesus
That
Christ.
silver Mitsubishi that we had, that my wife was driving to Gallant, she got it stuck like 2 blocks away from the house, and she called me up. She's like, "I'm stuck." She was trying to make a turn into a spot that wasn't plowed yet, so there's about 2 feet of snow. I went over there and I had her get in my car, wait for me, and I kept backing it up and back. I got it out and I got it through, back on track. And she was just like, "How did you do that?" I was like, "You don't stop. You just keep going. Don't fucking stop.
Plow
Just
into
turn
the
and go."
kids that are in the snow in the street. They should be in the sidewalk. Fuck them. Their fault, not mine. Okay, so Jen. Now I think Jen is going to be the nicest on it. She genuinely likes these movies. I enjoy it too. It is formulaic. There is no part in this movie where you're like, "Oh man, the whole family's going to break up now." It's going to have a happy. It's a fucking Christmas movie. But I don't know. I still enjoy it. I do like the first one more. Some
Joel
kitty litter
says,
and prayer
yeah.
beads. Don't
Kitty litter
forget,
and
you
prayer
need the
beads.
metal can, the road flare, and kitty litter, and you're fine.
What do you do with the metal can and the road flare?
You put
Is
Wait.
that like the 3 seashells?
yes, no,
Okay.
no. The road flare heats the can and melts the snow, and the kitty litter is for traction. Why wouldn't you just heat the snow with the road flare?
Yeah, just drop it behind the tire. No, not behind the tire.
Well, no, you just you hit it up, or you clear the snow away from the tire, and then you heat up the ground and melt it behind it. The can just seems arbitrary.
That's what you have. What's it called? Floor mats for. You take them out, and put them under the tire.
Well, I also am going to invest in an Elon Musk flamethrower for snow removal purposes this year too.
That would be
So
amazing.
Did you see the new
I would
semi he's coming
I
out
would
with?
so get fucking arrested if I was outside instead of snowblower. Just
Can you imagine the phone call? Like the 911 phone call? There's a guy out here with the flamethrower. Like, wait, what?
It turns into like the opening
He
scene
set
of
the
Lethal
tree on
Weapon
fire.
4 with the dude with the flamethrower and it's raining. Some crazy asshole. It's not even supposed to be raining. He's creating fucking atmosphere. That's how that
The
works.
tree is on fire.
Well, we had the tree almost come down on our car.
Jesus.
Jen, what do you love so much about this movie, or even the Bad Moms franchise? Because we're men, so we look at it as a certain way. I'd presume. What do you like about them so much?
So I think for me, it would be its obvious reasons. I'm a female, and this is an all-female comedy. It's rated R for one thing. You can't go wrong with a
For
rated R
pirates?
comedy. Some of my favorite scenes in this one were the Sky Zone. That scene was pretty funny.
I like that
And
scene.
then the scene where Catherine Hahn and Susan Sarandon are outside of the supermarket and they're collecting canned goods for a canned food drive.
Collecting. Did you do quotation
Yeah.
marks too?
Yeah.
One-
And it's funny because like they clearly took the poinsettias off of the stand that they were standing next to. That it was poinsettias for sale, and then just how they're at the end they just take every single bag out of that poor guy's shopping cart.
Okay.
And then they
I'm
see
gonna-
the manager coming.
I'm gonna ask this. Is there a world where you could flip the script and have men robbing women outside of a grocery store, and it'd be 100% accepted?
Even in a movie.
No.
Yet we love to talk about the double standard when it comes to men leading roles and shit like that. But then movies like this come out, and if you don't like it, it's because you don't like it because women wrote it and women are starring in it. Yet you're supposed to ignore the double standard. That's the annoyance of these movies in general to me. Is it's like men movies are 100% open to criticize, and some of them blatantly for stupid shit. But then these movies just double down on the trope, but it's female. Like I said, look at the female Ghostbusters. Rather than trying to go, you know what, we're just going to make a movie that's a good fucking movie, starring an all-women cast, they go, you know what, we're going to make the only real guy in the movie completely retarded. Because that's what they did to females in the 80s. And it's like, well, are you making movies for entertainment or revenge? And that's the problem I have with these movies sometimes.
I've said this before. I think that I am a terrible woman in the sense that
What's wrong?
I don't care about that shit. Like, I honestly don't. If you're funny, you're fucking funny in a movie. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. I think it's stupid that directors and producers try to accommodate other people's feelings and the fact that they think, oh, let's make Ariel an African American mermaid. Like, I don't fucking care. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I didn't like the casting choice because her eyes are too far apart.
As a woman in 2022 as well, I agree with Jen. I don't care. I don't care who. I hate when they put their feelings in it too. I completely understand where she's coming from.
Well,
like they
Yeah,
try.
it's dumb. Like,
put an agenda
especially
in there.
in like the Marvel universe, like who the fuck cares? I don't care about a female Captain America. I don't.
Well, he's black actually, not female yet. We haven't gotten there yet. We've gotten to black. Cold Level Black.
She-Hulk. Who the fuck cares? Fuck She-Hulk.
A lot of people, despite the terrible writing of that show, love it. Now, I will say, as a they them, I didn't understand why none of these women had dicks. I thought statistically, in the open culture we're in now, one of them would have a penis. No?
As a toaster oven, I don't fucking care. Okay? I don't care.
I thought it would have been that Agatha lady.
I don't know why Catherine Hahn annoys me. I know Jen likes her, but like,
I don't.
She annoys me.
She's one person I didn't like in this movie too. So she's the fourth one. It was all three moms and her.
I feel like her. I don't know if it's her acting, but I feel like her character tried too hard in this movie.
Well, like, it's almost like, as a dude, if I like met this woman with the energy that this character was presenting and the way she, like, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like,
yeah, same.
I don't like you. I don't like you. Like, you and I aren't compatible. Like I'm sorry, but if I'm in a bar and I see that girl and her, that is already the corner I don't go into.
Yeah.
Like I like
Yeah.
the loudmouth, I got balls too woman doesn't actually gravitate. Men don't gravitate to that.
But
Can I tickle your
also,
taint? Come here, let me see your taint.
also men
what the
who are
fuck?
like that, men with that energy,
Oh God,
I
yes.
don't like
fuck
either.
them too.
I
Yeah.
can't stand them either. So,
Where like everybody's been in a social situation where they've been like, can this guy just shut the fuck up?
yeah.
And that's the
Oh, yeah.
character she was too. Like even if you're the friend, there's a moment like, can you just shut the fuck up, please? Like you're getting on my nerves. The Chads, is
Agreed.
Joel's. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Chads whose names is Brad's.
I had a friend that we would go out on the weekends, and the guy, he would get so annoying thinking that he's the God's gift to women, and he would say things like, "I already fucked her," and I'm like, "What?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I already fucked her in my mind." He's like, "Actually, she's about to come around, and that's gonna be the second time." And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yeah, who says
Lame.
that?
Yeah,
Like,
that's called a
what is
fucking
happening?
incel. They just didn't have a name
what
for it
is
yet.
happening?
Yeah.
All right. See, I haven't thought
Wait,
of this at all.
he says that because that's the only way he's ever gonna get anything, by mind fucking.
Yeah, and then if you saw the woman that he ended up settling with, nothing like the woman that he said that he fucked in his mind.
Now she's mind
Nothing.
fucking him. And will eventually mind fuck him in the divorce. Okay, let's start off first now. We're not doing straight up Chicago dogs. We all know that.
Oh, here we go.
And this is completely off of the cuff. I have not thought about this. So this episode's special Christmas dog, I don't know, to be honest with you.
Pralines.
Candy canes
Oh.
melted down to be in the shape of a hot dog is the hot dog. The bun is going to be, you remember the gummy Krabby Patties? It's going to be those on each side. We're going to top it off with Christmas sprinkles and caramel with a peppermint mocha dipping sauce.
Oh,
That's today's
so
hot
gross.
dog.
Why don't you just put some melted marshmallow drizzle?
Done. You got it, buddy. Melted marshmallow drizzle is well on top. So it's literally you're going to bite into it and it just breaks like glass in your mouth, just starts sharding because of the candy canes.
The
Malo
marshmallow's gonna get
sauce, I
stuck
think
to your
it's called.
mustache if you got it.
You're chewing it. This blood is just pouring out of your mouth. Jen, how many delicious Christmas hot dogs?
Um,
Out of 5.
I'm in between a 3.5 and a 4 on this one.
Generally,
I'm gonna
we
say
say
4.
why
Fuck it.
after.
Well, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the movie. I mean, I didn't necessarily care about the storyline. Like, okay, it's the moms wanting to take back Christmas and do things the way that they want to, and then rebuilding their broken relationships with their mothers. Like that's whatever. But I think for me, it's more so like the comedy aspect of it. I know you guys didn't think it was funny, but
I laughed at
me
some
being a
parts.
female and having a pussy.
Ugh. It's exactly the type of humor I
Wait,
fucking
do
hate.
you have the pink hat?
No, God, no. I would have burned it. Fuck out of here. Third wave feminism does not enter this home. First wave, sure.
But no, I think I would give it a 4. I did enjoy it. I did like how almost every time Catherine Hahn would address Justin Hartley, she would say Ty Swindell.
Ty Swindell.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I also, like, she's like the worst mom out of the 3 as well. Like, her kid's clearly half retarded. Like, why aren't you
Yeah.
getting him
When
into
she
special classes?
re-gifts him
she-
fucking Ziploc
Ziplocs
bags and
from
a
the year
fucking
before.
used baseball
You know what? I'm
glove.
going to change it. My mom was a mix of Susan Sarandon's trashiness and Catherine Hahn's shitastic way to raise a child. Maybe that's why I don't like the bitch in this movie. But I don't. For Jen, huh? What'd you give
For
the
Jen.
first one?
I'd probably give that one a 4 as well.
I'd say the first one's better. Giovanni, I know you love this movie. Let me know how many of these delicious Christmas dogs.
As a female with a raging hairy pussy as well, I'm going to I did not like these movies. I didn't like the first one, and I watched the first one.
Raging hairy
and
pussy. What is this? You've been too much anime. Just, oh my god, my raging hairy pussy's out of control.
And it screams, ah!
And because I know
Ah!
because I know we can give this score a 0. It is a 0.
We
Zero.
can. I think I gave the shed a 0, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't know we can give that score.
Absolutely. It is a
Shit.
It is
an
a 0.
absolute number.
I
Alex.
did.
Oh, sorry.
And just to say that I didn't get the comedy as a female in 2022.
I mean, I don't think you're a
I
very
didn't
good
understand-
female if you didn't laugh at
Yeah,
every
I
single
didn't understand the
Catherine Hahn
comedy.
joke.
I didn't think it was funny. I will say though, Mila, I didn't like her in this movie, but I'm not saying she did a bad job. I think the other two characters, the other two moms, were just like too much, especially Han's character. I felt it was just like Mila was very well grounded, and then the other two just like, oh my god, like if they got, maybe they got two different personalities in there, or the writing for it, those characters maybe were toned back a bit, I think it would work a bit better. But they were just too intense.
Well, I think the concept was supposed to be like the mothers emulating somewhat of how the daughters were. And if I remember, was Kristen Bell clingy in the first one, Jen?
I don't think she was clingy with her kids.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I understand
And the
where
kids
they
were
went,
still
but
small too, so yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm glad you mentioned that, Matt, because I feel like, yeah, at some point from the first movie, because I did see the first movie, somewhere along the lines, characters changed, and maybe that's it.
well, what I'm saying, the big thing is Christina Applegate was a main character in the first movie, and
She was. She
she's
was.
literally got a cameo in this one. When
Yeah,
when she's going Christmas caroling, that's the only scene when
Mhm.
she's in. So like, and I want to say I'm almost fucking positive there is a scene where Christina Applegate cheats on her fucking husband in the first one, in a motel, or is that a different movie entirely?
I don't know. I know there's something to do with where something happens with her husband because she's playing this role of like she's the big woman on campus and shit.
Yeah, she's like
She's
the super
head
mom.
of all. Yeah.
Like, isn't the whole thing she
And it was
fucks a
like-
younger kid? Like, it might be a completely different movie. I will admit that, but I thought Bad Moms 1 was the one with Christina Aguilera. I have a scene in my head where she's literally leaving a motel room after doing whatever with the kid, and she was unsatisfied by it, and then she starts to feel the guilt. Maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't seen that
I
one in
think
a
you
while.
watched a different movie.
Well, we would have. We're not gonna watch a fucking Christina Applegate movie unless you're fucking watching it with me, okay? Unless it's Married with Fucking Children. So we watched whatever this fucking movie is that I saw.
So Applegate was the PTA queen in the first movie. She was
Yeah.
like the head mom, the perfect mom.
All right, I'm gonna look into it. You guys talk about something. Actually, I have a thought. I'll give my hot. Oh, you didn't give yours yet, did you?
No.
You go.
So for me, I did like this. The one thing I didn't like was the Agatha, whatever her name is, Catherine Hahn or whatever her name is. I don't like her. She had this fucking like bully, like it's kind of like a bull.
I was thinking of Hall Pass. Never mind.
Yeah,
Mm.
like she was like this like the male version of like the fucking testosterone fucking full guy that was.
Well, that's the thing is like if there's a male comedy like where the dude like no male comedy where they make you like the character is just a vulgar asshole, and if he is, he eventually gets his you know what I mean?
right,
Like he always
Something
gets it in the
happens
end.
that fucking puts him down a peg.
Yeah,
if
changes
he-
his world look, like his life
Yeah.
a little bit, makes him a little bit more humble. Like
Which
Oh
would've
yeah,
been
and her
Tyson
character
Down.
doesn't really get that in
no,
this movie.
I mean, realistically, she's a terrible mom, right? Because she's got her own mommy issues, and like, but there is no like, oh yeah, maybe I need to do more with my life. Like in fact, she has the best outcome because she's basically a loser who gets to fuck the guy with the 2-foot cock, and he's a stripper and everything. So it's like, maybe that's it. Maybe it's like any character that's normally like her character gets humbled at some point. Like even the Wedding Crashers is a perfect example. Vince Vaughn is that character where he gets humbled and then locked down to a woman. So it's
The redhead that he gets, the one that says "I'm gonna kill you" or whatever. She actually went to clown school. I read that somewhere.
She's married to a clown, so it makes sense.
She went to fucking clown school. But
Sacha Baron Cohen.
but that fucking that character that she played, I couldn't stand, and I can't really stand her in some of the other shit that she does. But and
Jen
all
loves
three
her. Jen's gonna
moms,
put posters up of this chick now, and I'm gonna have to live with it.
You should, Jen.
all three moms were the most annoying part of this fucking movie for me, because I wanted to fucking throw every one of them out of the fucking house every time. Like if it were me, and even if it would have been my own mom, and she was acting that way, I would have been like, dude, get the fuck out.
The other thing is, you really, in this one, you don't get any chance to dive into the characters themselves because there's so many situations. Like in the first movie, you had the original cast, right? And it was just them.
Mhm.
Now you've got three other names who are also being paid big money, including Susan Sarandon and Cheryl Hines, and I can't remember her name, but the other one that was the chick from The Grinch Who Stole
Christine
Christmas.
Baranski.
Christine Baranski. So the amount of scenes per grouping of characters is lessened too. Like Kirsten Bell is relegated to like the scene where everything's in chaos and her husband isn't doing shit. And then it's like fast forward to the next character because we got to get everybody's issues in. You know, we've only got an hour and 45 minutes.
Did you happen to look at the budget for both these movies?
No, probably huge.
20 million for the
have it.
first one
Oh,
and
yeah.
28 million for the second.
That's not too bad considering. I mean, it depends on how much it brought in, I guess. I'd imagine they did fairly well. I think the first one probably did better than the second one.
183 million for
Well,
the first.
Very well. That's
And
why
the
it's got a
second
sequel.
was 130.
Surprised it didn't get a
Jesus.
threequel at this point. That was a lot of money it made. Both,
Yeah.
both of those are
They
profitable.
both did really well.
Uh,
Yeah.
What's your Christmas dogs?
For me, it's gonna be a 3 because I did enjoy it. It was a fun movie, but as far as the characters themselves, I really fucking hated the moms and the one. But I like the whole hijinks that kind of like supposedly was what happened and shit. But
I think that's one of the things about this movie as opposed to Daddy's Home 2 that we're going to review is the fathers in that movie, in my opinion, made that movie. And we'll go into that. But like, I think John Lithgow and Mel Gibson are the reason why Daddy's Home 2 is any sort of enjoyable. Because it is not nearly as funny as the first one, because we just watched the first one. And the first one's got funny shit because it's Mark Wahlberg and I will say, we'll go into a minute. I gotta get my Christmas dogs. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. I enjoy the movie, but Jen pointed out something that I think is bigger than we've highlighted, which is the story is paper thin. The story really is not much there. It only exists to make sure you get from interaction to interaction to show the conflict, which I think is the biggest problem. Is there's nothing, and as Giovanni said, the way the pacing moves is there's nothing to drive this movie except for the next situation of conflict between people.
and
It's
the whole-
basically just like a time filler.
Yeah,
and the whole opening though of her saying I ruined Christmas. You didn't fucking ruin Christmas. You stuck up for yourself.
well, I mean, and that's the thing. And yeah, the
my
end scene, her
perspective.
mother throws a huge party, and her house is tons of people, tons of shit in her home.
Kenny G.
Kenny G, that bastard. I would have been like, get the fuck out of my house too.
Shut up,
But
please.
instead of me like tearing down shit and getting into a fist fight with my mom, I'd have gone upstairs quietly, pulled my gun out and loaded it and fired into the fucking air and said, get out of my house. I'll fix that fucking drywall. Get out of the house. Like, but that is the other thing is they do set it up like Max Payne where it's like, we got to go back to the beginning to know how we got here. And it's like, well, we don't. We get it. You hate
Matthew
your
would
mother.
have Medea'd it.
Oh, I wouldn't have I'd have gotten my Elon Musk flamethrower out. It's gonna have roast tonight. Yeah, 2.5 out of 5. I don't hate it. But really, Catherine Hahn's character fucks it for me. I do not like her in this movie. I don't know if I like her in any
I don't
movie.
either.
It
And you know what?
depends.
Maybe that's why I didn't like this movie because of the fact that the lack of story was there.
She was funny in Step Brothers. I believe Catherine Hahn was the wife of his brother.
Yes.
She was, and there's a good point.
So it's this
That
movie.
movie
Her
she
character
was-
in this
yeah.
movie is just obnoxious and annoying.
And I think she just maybe it is the actress. I think she just tried too hard. On the character,
if
brought
it's
too much.
The problem is if she's written to be a fucking buffoon, what can she do?
That's true. Yeah,
You know,
can't
just
really
like
blame the actor.
just like you can't take Zach Galifianakis serious in The Hangover because he's written to be a fucking buffoon, half on the spectrum. It's the character. It's the writer's fault. And I won't blame her, but she is for me is the most unlikable part of this movie. All right, next one, Daddy's Home 2. Now the reason why we're doing these movies, they're both actually there's 3 different connections we have for these movies. Christmas movies, both sequels. and both are about your in-laws coming in and parents coming in and wrecking things. Now, I will say, one of the things I would love to do if I had a big family like that would be go and rent some fucking giant cabin, if because we're all rich white people in this movie, right? So the money is no object. So they rent this beautiful cabin home for them all to stay in, and I gotta say,
Pay for a cell tower, yeah.
I like this movie a lot more than Bad Moms Christmas. But I'm gonna be honest, it's because of two things: John Lithgow and Mel Gibson. And I do like the Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg banter. I thought that was the funniest thing from the first one too. But the first one had little jokes like, Will Ferrell, and I love my Ford Flex, and he goes on about it. And then at the end of the movie, you have Mark Wahlberg get one. He's like, he was really right about the Ford Flex. I love this thing.
Yeah.
That, I think, was the type of humor that was missing from this sequel. You didn't have those little, like, just dumb written in jokes. But I do like this movie. Probably because of the fathers, though.
I wish it was a little more R-rated, though. I wish it was R-rated.
That is the problem with the first one and this one, is not only is it PG-13, it's a fucking soft PG-13. It's not even close to edgy in any way.
You've got these characters that are fucking great in R-rated movies with comedy.
That's what I'm saying. With the cast they got, yeah, this should have been an R-rated movie. It doesn't even have to be
over the top R-rated. Just, shit you can get away with.
Also, the Mark Wahlberg's character is kind of a weird topic, because in the first one, he was basically a mercenary for the government. And in this one, he's the goddamn line leader at school. You know what I mean? Like, he's talking to Will Ferrell about baking cookies. Like
snickerdoodles.
Yeah, that whole 100% 180 character flip. Like, he literally went from like a literal murderer to just like a little bitch in the sequel, which is a little frustrating.
I don't like what's his name again? Will Ferrell. I don't like Will Ferrell. Yeah, I can't stand.
Okay, so I don't like name
his comedy style.
I'm gonna name a few Will Ferrell movies that I like. You tell me yay or nay.
Okay.
Blades of Glory, the ice skating one.
I do.
Okay.
I do like it, but it's not because of Will Ferrell.
No, I get it. It's just it's a funny fucking movie.
Yeah.
It really is.
I have something to say when you're done with this.
What about Semi-Pro, the basketball one? That is another kind of ensemble cast. Have you only seen it once?
I've only seen it once.
Okay,
yes.
so I watched it once and I didn't like it either, and then I watched it again. And there's a lot more funny than you would think that isn't dependent on Will Ferrell, because that does have Woody Harrelson, Andre Benjamin, Andre 3000. It's got a pretty good cast too. I'd give that another one. And then there was one other Will Ferrell movie. Well, Old School is a classic, but Old School is another that's not a Will Ferrell movie. Will Ferrell, that's actually just in it. That's actually kind of what launched him. But that's what launched his popularity. Like, he was on SNL, and then I think he did Old School, and he did. Before that, he was in
Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah, before that, it was Night at the Roxbury.
Night at the Roxbury was good.
That's a favorite. I like Will Ferrell.
I will say, I guess I'll take that back. I like SNL Will Ferrell.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That he was really good at that comedy. And in this one, the whole, like, the antics he takes,
the pussy guy attitude.
Yeah, like,
I couldn't take it.
Oh man, dude.
That's one of the things that holds both of these. The first one too back for me is they're just so soft for PG-13, and that Will Ferrell pussy character. That's why when Mark Wahlberg comes in and he's now the Mark Wahlberg pussy character, I was like, fucking hell. I still enjoy it, but come on.
What's that one with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart? Is that Get Hard or whatever?
I like that movie. If you haven't seen Get Hard, that is a pretty. But once again, it's funny because of Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, I am
found bits and pieces of it.
I am fucking. I watched it in the hospital when I was there for 8 days. I am convinced. Gators
don't cry.
Give me my gat back. Who did this to you? Gators women wear jimmies. Yeah, I love.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
The Other Guys is the perfect Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell movie. Like, that's where their chemistry works perfectly. I love that movie. I like Will Ferrell.
Was that PG or was that?
Oh, that's PG-13, and it was in between. It was a hell of a lot harder than Daddy's Home. Either one of them. That movie was good.
Why does Will Ferrell keep doing PG movies? Like.
Well, see, I don't like Will Ferrell serious. Like, I don't like the movie Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
I watched the Casa de Mi Padre. I didn't find it funny.
Stranger Than Fiction is a toss-up for me because I think it's because I'm so used to seeing Will Ferrell not in a serious role, and to see him in a serious role, it's like the movie says, it's fucking weird. I
guess my problem is when I thought about it, I was looking for more of like the Adam Sandler Punch Drunk Love type turn. And
okay,
you
okay.
do not get that when Will Ferrell
No.
goes serious with Stranger Than Fiction. Now, that's not to say he couldn't, but, you know, I mean, also, he hasn't really done a whole lot. Like, I know he's got that new Christmas movie with Ryan Reynolds on Apple TV Plus. But, like, that's the other thing is you're right. His image went from SNL comedy to rated R comedy to Elf. And then from then on, after Elf, he was a little bit softer. He did do Get Hard, which was rated R.
Did he become a father like during that time?
He's been a father for longer than that.
Because I know that Jack Black did that.
There's one movie him and Amy Poehler called The House, where they start a casino in their house. That was rated R, and that was actually really funny. I watched it with Jen, and I was like, "This is gonna be shit." Was not bad.
It was pretty funny.
It was a surprisingly fairly rated R comedy too. Like it wasn't a tame. I went into it thinking, okay, here we go, another Will Ferrell kind of quasi-written. No, it was pretty good.
Okay.
So I was gonna say, Giovanni, that I think the theory was that why you didn't like him was because I have the same thing with like The Rock. I can't stand The Rock as a person. I can't stand his character as The Rock. But like in movies, I'm like caught in it and I watch him, even though he's the same fucking character. So like Journey fucking
I'm still number 2. He was in the sequel.
And then Jumanji's, and then
I'm still gonna say his best movie is the fucking Rundown.
Yes,
I love that one.
The serious roles he plays.
But I
can't. The Rundown had comedy in it. I would even say goofy, like when he goes, nobody's getting into my pin too, and all that stupid shit about bugs swimming into his dick and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just think the Rundown was not a Rock movie. I think the Rundown was a Peter Berg action movie that starred The Rock at the time, and now every movie he stars in, because he's the biggest movie star out there, is a Rock movie. Is the difference? Because even Walking Tall, that wasn't a Rock movie. That was
Walking Tall is another good one.
It was based on a true story, and I think the problem is he's so big now that no matter what movie it is, they base it around him. Like if The Rock is in a movie, I would bet almost 100% he's their first choice. So the character's kind of written around him.
Joel said Gridiron. Probably the only.
The Gridiron, yeah, that was when he was the high school or college football? High school football
teacher. I think it was high school.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I would even say The Rock, and they're probably 2 of his weakest movies that he never talks about. But the one of them, The Game Plan, that was his family comedy he did, not The Tooth Fairy. The Game Plan, where he's the football player. I don't hate that movie. I remember, I think we had put it on because we were working at Blockbuster at the time. And I think we had it running because it was a PG movie. And every goddamn movie we ran, I ended up liking, was the problem. We ran B-movie on that fucking TV, and to this day, I love it. It's one of my favorite fucking animated family comedies of all time. It was Juvie football. Okay, all right. If you like, do you like The Longest Yard, Joel? The Adam Sandler one? I love that fucking movie. I have a weak spot for Adam Sandler, I think, is the problem. Except for that ridiculous 6 movie. That movie sucked dick.
The Replacements with fucking Keanu.
That's another good one.
Movie in a long time.
That's a great one.
Was that Chicago or was the Hardball Chicago? Hardball was Chicago, where it was an inner city youth group.
Baseball?
Yeah.
There's another football movie that nobody knows about. It's called The Program. With
Oh yeah, no, I've never seen that.
Fuck, what's his name?
Is that
James Caan is the.
Yes, I know
coach.
about that movie.
I really like that. That was like college fucking football.
8 Crazy Nights. I love that. I see. We might end up reviewing that. We have to decide what we're going to do about week 3, because next week with Lewis we're doing the new Christmas Story movie. Plus we got to pick another one. The 3rd week we have to decide what we have a couple different options. 4th week is with Lewis again. We're doing the Santa Claus new entire series review, all 8 or 6 episodes, and then the final week isn't going to be a Christmas episode. It's going to be a New Year's episode because it's the 30th, and we're going to pick our movies that we know potentially the other people, guilty pleasure movies.
Guilty pleasure.
I'm going to be going with McCall's Navy.
Super Mario Bros.
And we are going to be reviewing the extended Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
We're going to find it on YouTube, and we're going to review that one. Alex is doing some Corey, the Corey's movie.
I said it's a toss-up between Prayer of the Roller Boys, or what was that other one?
I seriously hope YouTube crashes and that it could somehow
and
deletes
then,
that Prayer
Congo.
of the Roller Boys. And Congo, yeah.
And Congo from
my brother's choice is Congo.
Oh, I said Gleaming the Cube. That's what.
Yes, that was the other one.
Now remember, these movies have to be able to watch.
Gleaming the Cube is on Prime.
Okay. Because that's a big thing.
And then the other one is
Because
on
Matt is
YouTube.
not buying any fucking movie he doesn't want to watch just to review it. Nope. Somebody else can buy it.
Speaking of Super Mario Bros, have you guys seen the new trailer?
You know, I have. I really wish people would just shut the fuck up about Chris Pratt's voice. I know it's not great. I know he's kind of phoning it in, but shut the I
But
get
the
it.
movie, I'm excited for the movie.
Jack Black is
Oh,
Bowser,
dude,
bro.
yes.
That-
He looks so good.
That's a perfect casting. He
So
really,
good.
yeah. And Jack Black, I mean, Jack Black is, that makes sense. It doesn't make sense for Chris Pratt to be Mario in any way, shape, or form.
Have you watch it in French? Watch the French trailer.
I've heard.
Whoever plays Mario, dude, he is killing it.
I don't understand why they casted Chris Pratt. I don't know why they didn't think it would be more backlash than it's worth. But like, I got to be honest with you, dude. You have assholes like John Leguizamo. Well, no, John Leguizamo's coming in, and it's like, well, there should be more Latin. Why should there be Latin people in a movie? About a fantasy
Italians.
fucking land for Italian carpenters, not plumbers, carpenters. So like,
Yeah, they were carpenters. They weren't plumbers.
it's literally John Leguizamo is going, yeah, we culturally appropriated these characters, so you should have to continue with that casting of cultural appropriation, is what he's saying for the Latinx community. Fuck that community.
Latinx,
Chris Pratt doesn't belong. Neither does John Leguizamo.
As a Hispanic, fuck that Latinx community.
Yeah, it's Latin.
I grew up with you guys.
fucking-
Anybody I know that I grew up with looks at me like I'm gonna get fucking stabbed when I say, "What do you think about Latinx?"
Yeah, it's so
Fuck
stupid.
off, John
What
Leguizamo.
the fuck is a Latinx?
Bring back Bob Hoskins, dig his dead fucking British body up, and he can voice it.
Mario was.
Oh
Italian,
wait, that's
yes.
right. People forgot that the
And you-
original fucking Mario was a British man.
Yep. And the
Fuck
original,
outta
I think
here.
what people are throwing up in arms is the original voice of Mario is in the movie, just not as Mario. I think he plays Wario
Well, here's my
in an
question.
end credit scene.
Here's my question on that. Is he allowed to voice Mario in the movie if it's not a direct Nintendo product? I don't know what contracts Nintendo has.
That's true. Nintendo's
They're
super,
very fucking weird with their
oh my
legal
God.
shit. So they may have
Yeah.
something where it's like, sure, you can do other voices, but the only place you can do a Mario voice is the official capacity by a Nintendo-based video game. That
I
might be
think- yeah.
possible. Fuck
I
it, get
believe it.
Optimus
I'd
Prime to do
absolutely
the
believe
fucking
it.
thing.
What's the
Anybody's
studio
better
that's-
than
What's
Chris
the studio
Pratt.
that's putting the movie out?
I don't even know. To be honest, I don't pay attention to
Are
it.
they affiliated with at Super Nintendo?
Well, no, see, that's the thing is Nintendo isn't affiliated with movie studios. They don't do movies. So they're licensing the characters for the movie is all they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a license out for sure. I don't think they've ever been.
Mario
In the
is
movie
indeed
business.
supposed to be Italian. He was supposed to be an Italian carpenter. Then Americans said he was a plumber, so he became a plumber. Then John Leguizamo said he
Very
should be
true.
Latinx, so he became
He was a bad
Latinx.
plumber, I guess. Bad at carpenter.
I actually am looking forward to watching the new Mario, the old Mario. I haven't
Dude,
seen it in quite some
looks-
time.
I love the old Mario.
I do
don't
too.
care what
It's-
anybody says.
That should
Like,
honestly be on the guilty pleasure movie.
It is.
Oh well, God, whose is that? Is that yours? I thought
That's
you were
mine.
Congo.
No, Anthony was Congo.
Oh shit. Okay. I
Yeah,
thought for
so
you,
it's
for a long time you were like, it's going to be Congo. Did he take it and you were like, fuck it, I got another choice?
yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
always had a
okay.
backup. Yeah, I always had a backup.
Have you all seen the old school Mario? Yeah, we're going to actually be reviewing that week 5 in the New Year's
The
Christmas
extended
episode.
cut, which is on YouTube for free.
Yeah, we're going to be reviewing that one the last week of December. It'll be on. I think the episode's on the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one we're going to be going over. You can watch it on YouTube, just YouTube Super Mario, like directors or alternative cut, if you want to watch it to prepare. So we can talk about it. I'm actually looking forward to that one. You guys are going to love McCall's Navy. I fucking
I've never
know
seen it, so
I
it's
fucking.
gonna be an adventure.
Here's what's going to happen. You're going to watch it and you're going to go, God damn, is this stupid? Why am I enjoying it? And you know why you're enjoying it? Because it's a stupid 90s comedy. You remember how stupid 90s comedies used to feel?
Yeah.
Even the bad ones had that funny 90s comedy feel. That's what this one, although I don't feel that the writing is particularly bad. I don't. I think what you guys are going to walk out of it and go, you know what? It's not great, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I guarantee that's going to come out of your mouth, Giovanni, on the 30th of December. So Daddy's Home 2, I always want to preface this because we do kind of rag these movies a bit. But the truth is, I know Giovanni didn't. I do enjoy both Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2. I will agree. And the reason I'm gonna just shout my Christmas hot dog score for this one is gonna be a 3, simply because I enjoy it, but it does have that softness where it's always kind of like, oh, that scene would have been way funnier had you gone harder. This scene would have been funny had it been edgier writing. And you do miss that because they really do, because this is a soft PG-13. I think maybe shit was said like once or twice. If that. Like, it is a soft PG-13.
Yeah, and it sucks because honestly, Mel Gibson is in this movie, and I was expecting pretty rough go.
Even John Lithgow. And
yeah.
Well, Lithgow's character.
Who's that guy that you can't see in the movie?
What?
You can't see him?
John Cena.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That was a
Even
terrible
him.
joke.
Even him.
I thought you were having a fucking stroke. I didn't know you were referencing John Cena. I liked him in this movie.
Well,
that's another thing. When he appeared, I was like, okay, I know Cena's comedy. I know he's good at comedy. And his role wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be.
No.
I thought it was going to have a little bit more to him in this movie, but he had a good...
Nothing. Thought you were over here telling me you went blind in both eyes. Fucking scared me.
And I do agree with Matt. I don't like Will Ferrell, but like I like SNL Will Ferrell, and I feel like if this was rated R, I think we would have got a better comedy from Will Ferrell.
Not that I'm saying it necessarily would have worked out, but can you imagine a scene where, let's say this movie's rated R, with a thermostat joke, right? Where it starts off wholesome, it's the father's getting pissy about the thermostat, and then when Will Ferrell starts to snap, he's the one that goes against the little bitch and just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, let him do his great. Will Ferrell snap. Yeah. You know what I mean? Leave it at 67 fucking, you know what I mean? Like, go Steve Martin, Planes, Trains, Automobiles. Just give me a fucking rapid fire.
It would have fit because then his lighthearted father could have reined in that concept of like, oh, well, if not everything's not nice around you, you fucking fall apart. And he could have, treated him like a baby at that scene.
Well, then
you could have had Mel Gibson's father berating both of them for fucking being the way they were.
Then you have the conflict between Ferrell and the old man. So you could have a scene of like he goes to comfort Will Ferrell, and instead of what he does, you do have that scene, but instead it's just like, get away from me. What if you had Will Ferrell's comeback? It's like, oh, fuck off, Dad. Like in his will, you know what I mean? Like, if it would have been R or at least heavier, it would have been funnier, plain and simple. And I don't want to make the precedence that vulgarity equals funny, but in this case, it would have been funnier if it was more vulgar.
Who is Pizzazu? I'm not familiar with that.
He was better when he was Pizzazu. Was that from the Lost? Is that the Lost? That is another funny one. That's another funny one of his. What is that movie called, Jen? The Lost what?
Oh.
It was a remake of a TV show. The Lost World? No. Oh, the movie Sisters. Will Ferrell was in Sisters? Fuck, I haven't seen it. I think Jen and I watched that once. No, God, I can't remember what the fuck it's called. It's with Danny McBride. It's the Lost something.
Journey to the center. To the center of the earth.
No. It's Lost something.
Lost.
John Cena was. I like John Cena in that movie, the Amy Schumer movie, where he's like just the ripped drug dealer. John Cena's a funny dude, and he's a decent actor. But I will agree with Giovanni; he was way underutilized in this movie.
Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost. Yes.
Okay.
That movie is fucking hilarious.
Yes,
straight up.
And again, that's a good example of that Will Ferrell comedy, but that energy, like. Not even the swearing or anything, because there is that Will Ferrell
just
energy.
That frantic craziness.
Yeah. Yes.
Because he's done. I mean,
we needed more of it.
That's the thing is, if like you would have had him like, especially you could have even used it in the context of like, you move up where John Lithgow tells him they've divorced, right? Then you have an extended period of unhinged Brad. That is just thinking about it not constantly, is on edge. He's snapping at the kids. He's snapping at his wife. He's snapping at his dad. Have a scene where he snaps at Mel Gibson, and Mel Gibson's kind of like, excuse me? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. Like, you know what I mean? There's things they could have done in here to make the movie a little bit more for adults and funnier.
Well, after he finds out about his father, when he's outside and he's talking to the kid, I was like, okay, we're going to get that energy from here on out. When he's talking to
also when he spills the coffee.
Yeah.
Or the hot cocoa on him. Like that perfect scene.
Well, he's like, I'm gonna get even with
I thought you
you,
were
and I'm like,
bringing me
okay, here we
makeup
go.
Coco.
Why would they bring you makeup, Coco? And that's the thing is those scenes with him and Mark Wahlberg, and I think the scenes with between just him and Mark Wahlberg are great, and I think the father scenes are great. But then you have it like for one thing, I hate the wife of Mark Wahlberg. I hate the whole storyline of Will Ferrell's wife being jealous of her and then kind of hating her. But then she redeems herself because she wrote nice things about her. It's like, no, you're a shit mother. Your child's a cunt and she's only fucking 10. Like, I don't like that character. And Mark Wahlberg is the biggest, he's a bigger pussy than Brad in this fucking movie. Than Will Ferrell.
He is. Yeah.
Jen,
They toned him back quite a bit.
This was Jen's pairing. But Jen, you haven't said much. What do you think of this movie?
I did really enjoy this one. I do agree that it could have had more raunchy comedy in it. But I get that it was supposed to be meant as like a family kids movie or whatever. Mel Gibson in it was probably one of the best parts about this movie.
It makes me just want more Mel Gibson. Like, he's doing those direct-to-DVD shit movies right now, and I'd love to see more AAA Mel Gibson, because the only movies he's in nowadays is, like, Hurricane Trespass, and it's some stupid fucking garbage.
Or The Fat Man.
I mean, unlike
I like The Fat
Susan...
Man. You watch your goddamn mouth, sir.
No, I liked it too.
Okay, good. There actually, I saw a tweet from the directors. They are trying to get pre-production done on the first one, or the sequel.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, Jen. Continue.
Unlike Susan Sarandon's estranged mother character in Bad Moms Christmas, I don't know. Mel Gibson played it a lot better. I mean, just
like
with
he actually
his,
loved him, and one of the biggest conflicts was they didn't have a relationship.
yeah.
Like throughout the entire movie, there's that whole thing of like them saying "I love you," and it's like Susan Sarandon can't wait to ditch her daughter, yet Mel Gibson's over here. I mean, there's the one line where Mark Wahlberg's like, you invited yourself to Christmas. He goes, yeah, I did, because you never do. So like that's the difference. Is like maybe that's the other thing is. In Bad Moms, I don't feel the love from the mothers, even when they come out and overtly say it at the end. But John Lithgow and Mel Gibson, in their own ways, you could both tell that the characters do love their family, and they show it throughout. I mean, John Lithgow's obvious, but the relationship between Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson is essentially Mel Gibson trying to find a way to repair it and connect throughout the entire fucking movie.
But he's still
Even with Mel
values-
Gibson's
he still
hardness.
values-
Yeah, like he's still riffing on him and everything, and he's still busting his balls, but it's all under this guise of like, look, I'm just trying to get closer to you.
Yep.
And like the
Mel
only one
Gibson's-
that you can kind of say that is about Cheryl Hines and Bad Moms, but it was over and it's more like, no, this is now selfish. This isn't, because then she even comes out and talks about how she's just lonely without her father around the holidays.
Yeah.
So it's like her obsession with her daughter is selfishness because she needs the attention. Mel Gibson is literally just there going like, look, I know I was a piece of shit, but like, I'd like to be your dad.
But he still would rather get his dick wet than fucking be around his family.
Well, for one thing, all right, I'm going to put it this way. He's in great shape for his age, right? You're in a theater, locked down because it's snowed in. You're in your fucking 40s, bro. Let him get some puss. What does it matter? You're not, like, that's the other thing. Mark Wahlberg was such a bitch in this movie. Like, you're in your 40s and you've got kids. Why do you care that your dad's fucking somebody in the bathroom right now?
Well, because he has daddy issues.
Fucking pussy.
But where I was going with that is that Mel Gibson's one-liners are pretty great in this movie. One of the first ones that he delivers when we are first introduced to his character is after John Lithgow sees Will Ferrell, and they, open mouth kiss each other. And Mark Wahlberg is like, he's just excited. He hasn't seen his dad in a while. And then they say that he hasn't seen him since Thanksgiving, which was 4 weeks, prior to this.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we haven't seen each other in 4 weeks. We haven't seen each other in X amount of years. What should we do? Should I take my pants off or something for you?
I will say
It's
there was...
just,
Oh, sorry, go on.
He just like I was saying, those one-liners that he delivers, it's pretty funny. And especially like the scene in the tree lot where they're Brad is talking to the son about
Girls.
approaching a girl, yeah, and what to do. And he's like, first, you want to get to be their friend. You want to stay in the friend zone. And then maybe, it escalates to one day you'll be invited to her wedding, but you want to make sure that you bring that invitation because that's proof that you did get
Oh,
invited.
such pussy advice, too. Terrible.
And her
advice.
dad says, "What are you doing here?" She doesn't talk about
They
you.
can't throw you out if you got the invitation.
But it's also Mel Gibson's energy, because in that
Yeah.
last scene where the boy finally kisses the girl and everybody's horrified it's
He
his sister-in-law,
slaps her ass
and
on
Mel,
top of
yeah,
it.
Mel Gibson is just laughing in the background like, yeah.
And it's his stepsister.
Yeah.
Also, when they first show him coming down with the son behind him coming down the escalator, and he sees the two stewardesses, I was picturing him saying, I was imagining him saying, "I just want a fucking blowjob in the hot tub."
Yeah, right. I'll burn this house down, but first you're gonna blow me. You know what? You guys won't be able to hear it. The audience will.
I said I'll burn the goddamn house down, but blow me first.
This is a classic Mel
To
Gibson.
be blown first. I should have fucking woken you up and said, blow me.
Those are exact lines from Daddy's Home too. Not his abusive verbally relationship with his Russian baby mama. There is one scene of crazy Will Ferrell, and it's the end when he meets his stepdad.
Oh,
Now that I think about it, so there is one
Sully?
scene, scene, and it's the dumbest way possible to give it to you.
Yep.
Jennifer, I want your hot dogs on this first. Your Christmas fancy, not hot dogs.
I'm gonna go with another 4 for this one. I do like it. Unlike Bad Moms Christmas, I probably wouldn't resort to throwing this on, to help me fall asleep or just to watch.
Is it because you're sexist?
No, not at all.
Because it's not all females in this one?
Yeah, because there's no 2-foot long
Yeah.
packages.
You women, all you
There's
care
no-
about is
there's no
big dicks
Chippendale.
and dirty potty humor.
no Chippendale.
No, I mean it's a good movie. It is, and yeah, 4 for me.
Good, Giovanni. I know you loved it.
That's why
I
I'm
didn't like
giving it a
this movie.
4.
Either. But this was a 2.5 for me.
At least it's got something.
You like this less than Bad Moms?
No, Bad Moms
Oh, you
was
give it a 0.
Oh,
That's
no,
right.
Zero.
I
Yeah,
forgot
Bad
you gave
Moms
it a
is
0.
0.
Jesus,
Yeah.
0 Snickers out of 0.
Like Vince Vaughn, I feel Will Ferrell, the extra people in here, the supporting cast, I feel they were great. I did like the supporting cast, and some of the comedy was really well executed in this one. It flowed better, the pacing was better, and the story made sense. There was a underlying story that you could follow, and it made sense.
Yeah, and I mean it's a simple
What is
story,
this?
but the story is, these separate families that are all connected by the children come together to have a joint Christmas holiday, and hilarity ensues. That's the story.
Yeah, it made sense in this one.
In all fairness, though, this movie does have the same pacing of thin story, conflict characters, thin story, conflict characters. You know what I mean? Still got the same issues as Bad Moms had, I think, in the pacing and writing.
Okay, no, I could see that. I think I saw more of the story as you watched the movie. Like I could see it unfolding. I
Well,
can understand where they were
And
going.
I think that all boils
and-
down to Bad Mom's story just being thinner, just being basically the story is, oh, our moms are coming in, it's going to be hard, and it's Christmas. That's the whole story. And then the rest of the story, you're told through the interactions. Daddy's Home 2 already does have, because you got to remember, Bad Moms Christmas really doesn't keep any of the foundation the first one does, besides they're all mothers.
I will say yes, it does not.
This at least it's directly a sequel to the situation that is going on between the characters. So you at least have that first movie's relevant. The first Bad Moms really isn't relevant besides, oh, that's right, these are the women that had a craziness to get away from their families and blah blah blah. You know what I
The
mean?
the one thing that supposedly connects those two is it's their first Christmas after her husband left.
Yeah, and that's
And so
razor
it's
fucking thin.
yeah,
You know
and
what
they
I
don't
mean?
say that till almost the end.
Well, I mean, you have the kids tell you threw dad out, now you're throwing her out. It's like, well, your dad was a cunt, and so is your grandma. Sorry.
Yeah.
What's your go on, Giovanni? Sorry.
But this is a 2.5. I did enjoy it a bit more. I just can't get past Will Ferrell's comedy choice in this movie. His energy, his comedy energy.
His
Yeah.
softness is annoying.
Yeah, like it wasn't. It was. I wanted to see that crazy energy Will Ferrell, that SNL Will Ferrell. Um,
I'd even
and I do
take.
agree.
I would
Like
take
his,
the other guy's Will Ferrell. Like when he goes into his tirade about when he used to be a pimp. Give me
Oh,
that
yeah,
energy.
yeah.
Give me that energy.
I will say, yeah. After Elf, like I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what's going
Well,
on.
I mean,
He had too much cotton balls.
I mean, to be fair to him, he did diversify decently. Like he did the George Bush 1 hour stand-up comedy special. He's done a couple rated R ones, but the problem with Will Ferrell, I think, is after he became really famous, they started writing roles for Will Ferrell, and then it becomes, hey, this was written for you, so just be goofy. And I can understand if you're an actor going, look, I'm not fucking Buddy the Elf, I'm fucking Will Ferrell. Like I can
How
understand
much
that.
how much of it do you think he ad libs though as he goes along?
Depends on the movie. I'd say a movie like Daddy's Home, probably not much. That's maybe one of the problems. Maybe if you gave him room to add in some of his own flavor. But I think that's
Like-
one of the things is I don't think there was much improvising on the
No.
set.
Like this versus Step Brothers, how much do you think was ad libbed in Step Brothers?
Oh,
A lot. And
Yeah.
I've watched interviews with Adam McKay. They roll and they let the scenes go and they get as many takes as they want and then they choose the best.
That's a great fucking movie.
It's the same thing they did. Judd Apatow does with like 40-Year-Old Virgin and all that shit. They continue filming the scene of dialogue, and they film everything that the actors can do, and then they you know.
That's also like Anchorman. They fucking filmed so much of the movie they made a sequel.
And you know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe some of the movies that he's been in that you don't like have less flavor of his than you think. Maybe the movies where he does get to improv and be his own comedy a little bit. Maybe that's Will Ferrell. Maybe that's a big thing. Is the ones that are shit are the ones that he has no writing control on. Who knows? Maybe
It'd be interesting. I would like to know that.
Because you'd
That'd be
imagine
super
Night at the
interesting.
Roxbury was either written by him or Chris Kattan, because on SNL you had to write your own skits to get on. So that those
it was also an SNL production. So
well, yeah, but
yeah,
I mean,
they probably just kept
the
the camera
Night at the
rolling.
Roxbury was actually a skit on SNL that they just
which one of
plugged
those
into a movie.
One of those guys had to have written, because that's how you get on air on SNL. You're in your own skits you write. So, maybe now that I've never thought about this, but maybe the problem with modern Will Ferrell is it's not enough Will Ferrell in it as far as the actual creativity in the writing.
What's the one with Chris Kattan where he was like the monkey man or whatever? And he
Oh, I remember when The Rock guest starred on SNL.
yeah,
and
did
he
it. His
with
fucking
him,
ear falls off and shit.
I am one of those people that likes the movie Corky Romano.
Yeah.
That movie's dumb as fuck.
The
but
only
it's
thing I remember from that is, you want to
cookies,
buy
yeah.
some cookies?
No, there's
That's the only
literally
thing.
Peter Berg, the director / actor, is in it. Believe it or not, and he plays the brother who can't read. Like they're like a mafia family, and like they've each got their own. Corky's a pussy. This brother's tough, but he can't read. The older brother was Sean Penn's brother, who's dead now. And he was gay, I think, was his thing. Like, he was a closeted gay in the movie. So, like, by the end of the movie, Corky Romano's the hero because this brother's retarded and this brother's gay and they all fall apart. And it's a dumb fucking movie, but it's funny. I find it funny. Much like we're going to talk about McCall's Navy at the end of this month about how hilarious it is. It's here's the thing. I do genuinely find it funny. It's got a great cast, including Bruce Campbell. And it's a comfort. That's a comfort movie for me where I can throw on McCall's. That's a background movie. No, like Jen was. I go on my phone and she falls asleep in the living room, and I'm like, "What am I listening to?" Yep, it's Almost Famous for the 6,000th fucking time. But Alex,
Yes, me.
your
This one was
numbers.
This one was a 3.5 for me. I think one of the reasons that it would have been a 4, but it dropped it down to a 3.5 because I like John Lithgow, but his character was a little too over the top for me, and I didn't like that part about him. Like they just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I get that he's supposed to be this guy that's supposed to be, going through his whole little like second life crisis.
Well, no, I also think the whole thing is he's just overly affectionate in general. That's why
Yeah.
Brad's soft like he is.
Yeah, but that was like the one thing that really bugged me about this whole movie was just his character. Also, the other parts were like the Giovanni was saying about Will Ferrell getting injured in the movie, or like he just happened to get hurt for this one or this one. That was a little too much, like especially with the fucking lights and the
Yeah, the snowblower scene. While I thought it was cool,
it was
looking,
too long.
But
it was too long.
It was dumb for what that wouldn't happen. That's not how snowblowers work.
He even points out, he's like, who would connect all these lights like this? Like,
Yeah,
like he's pointing out the idiocy in the filming of that scene, and I'm like, oh my god.
but that's
The
supposed to tie into like
nativity
his
scene,
character.
the nativity scene with the snowballs constantly hitting John Lithgow, though, that was pretty.
That
funny.
scene
like
made me
that.
laugh
I
out.
did
Yeah,
like
even
that.
seeing it
Yeah, that
just
was
throw
funny.
the snowball away
Also,
and fucking
also the
clocks him.
two, also the two drunk children, the littlest
Yeah.
one, pancakes, bitches, like that fucking just had me laughing.
And that's the thing is like, okay, so Alex, you said 3.5.
3.5 for me.
I'm gonna go 3. Here's the question: which do you prefer, Bad Moms 2 or Daddy's Home 2? Like, if you were to say, if you had to go, I'm adding one of these movies into my watch every Christmas list or every Christmas month of December list, which one do you add?
It's Daddy's Home too.
It's Daddy's Home 2 for me.
Yeah.
Jen?
If this is just my list, and if you're not included in it, then it's Bad Moms.
Well,
But
yeah, Jen,
if
no,
this
no,
is,
your list.
but my list is
No,
not just my
no,
list.
as a
it's our
reviewer, no,
list.
as a reviewer, it's just your list. This isn't Matt's wife. This is Jennifer's list. So
Then
I mean,
it's
I
Bad
have my own
Moms
Christmas list versus my wife's Christmas list, and they are very different with maybe one or two movies
I
that lap
still watch
over.
The Crow during Christmas.
a Halloween movie,
I
isn't
don't-
it?
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, I got it during Christmas when I was young, and I fucking watch it all the time during Christmas.
Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a memory. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely go Daddy's Home too. But that's, I mean, honestly, the problem with both of these movies, is it's almost like you're gonna buy a car and it's two manufacturers that look exactly the same, and you're trying to decide which one you want to drive
Yeah.
because they're basically the same fucking movie.
It's just the
Yeah,
male
yeah, they
perspective and
are.
the female perspective.
You even have
the
a
only-
stepfather type situation with dude from Hostel dating Mila
Yeah.
Kunis.
Yeah. Except he's too forgiving, or he's too understanding. Or
Yeah,
forgiving, I
I'd
don't
have
know
been
which
like,
one it is.
"Fuck you, bitch."
Yeah, the mom. I would have fucking told her, "Hey, dude, my name
Hey,
is
your
fucking
daughter
Matt."
hates you, bitch. Just really drive that fucking knife in. All right. Any final thoughts? Good. We're going to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Joel, for hanging out and being a wonderful chatter. We will see you guys next week. Next week will be, for sure, the sequel to A Christmas Story, and we're going to pick something else. We're going to try to make it good. And then the third week's going to be awesome because we're going to be reviewing Santa Claus 3, and we're also going to be reviewing the Santa Claus series. Fourth week, I don't think we have anything for yet, do we? No.
There was no.
no.
We don't. So we'll figure that out. I have a couple ideas for that one. We'll have to think about it. And then the final week is going to be not Christmas related. It's going to be our New Year's episode, and it will be our guilty pleasure movies, which once again, McCall's Navy, Super Mario Brothers, the Latin X version, some
Damn it, Matt.
some fucking Corey's movie that Alex is going to choose,
Or
And then-
Christian Slater.
and then you've got Lewis's choice of Congo. So we'll be having a fun week. Then after that, we're gonna have to figure out scheduling, which we have to talk about after this real quick. Quentin Tarantino. Now I don't want to necessarily do well. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I definitely want to run through. He's got 9 movies, and I think we should just round it off and include From Dusk Till Dawn in it, considering he wrote it.
Yeah, I figured.
Didn't
yeah,
he
why
write
would
the
you not
beginning
include
of
that?
every one of them?
What's that?
And then did he write the beginning of every one of them? And then Rodriguez did the second half of each one of them. The first one, second one, and the third one wasn't them though.
No. Robert Rodriguez only produced the rest of them. He directed the first one. Tarantino co-wrote it with him. Sin City's actually the only problem with that is Sin City's. I don't think he directed anything on that, did he? We'll have to figure it out because I mean we're gonna what we could do is maybe because he's got 9 movies he directed and he's got movies. I mean he wrote Natural Born Killers, even though what's his face changed the script a lot. So we'll have to figure out exactly what we're including in there. under the Tarantino umbrella. True Romance is another one he wrote as well.
I like that one.
So we'll have to figure out what we're going to include in there. But for sure, you've got Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1 and 2, Django Unchained, Inglourious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think he directed...
Which is a great
Did
movie.
he direct Death Proof? The Grindhouse movie?
I think those are...
Robert
all on
Rodriguez
him.
did the Planet Terror, the zombie movie.
But I think they did a combination of them too as well. They worked together on those movies.
Django Unchained is one of my... don't forget The Hateful Eight.
Mm-hmm.
Django Unchained is one of my favorite movies. I love
You said
that fucking
Inglourious
movie.
Bastards, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna do all of them. I mean, and then we're even going to include movies, that aren't his
Four
directors.
Rooms.
No.
I don't know if he produced that or, but he definitely started.
Yeah, that. I think he wrote the segment for it, or wrote it. Maybe he had writing credits, I believe.
Yeah, whatever he said, whatever dialogue he did during that whole scene.
Wait, is that the one where he talks about the
pinky?
The what?
What the pinky scene? When he says that he can't pull his pinky back before he chops it off.
I don't remember what movie he was in where he talks about the Bear Jew. He talks about the how fucks the one character in the one movie's gay. Top Gun. He's in a movie. I can't remember what movie it is, but he has a whole like thing about how the characters in Top Gun are gay.
I remember. Yeah.
I can't. I don't remember what movie it was. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, we'll have a whole. It might end up being 2 months of Tarantino, frankly. And if something else,
fine.
if something else comes out in between, we want to review, we'll do that. But he's got 9 directed movies, plus other ones he touched. So we're going to be diving into that because I just want to watch them again. Frankly, I've been meaning to watch Pulp Fiction for a while. I haven't seen it in a little bit. Jackie Brown is the only one I don't remember loving, so I'm looking forward to giving that one another go.
Isn't there a version of Pulp Fiction that they actually put in chronological order?
I've seen there was a YouTube cut or something of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's not a released chronological order version.
Okay.
But I think that was also supposed to be you could theoretically watch it in any order and still make sense. There's actually, if you watch any of the podcasts he found, there's an interesting story of how he casted Bruce Willis in there about basically Bruce Willis wanted John Travolta's role, and Tarantino already said he was going to give it to John Travolta. Then Bruce Willis wanted Sam Jackson's role, and he's like, so I wrote it for a black dude. So then that's how Bruce Willis ended up. And at that time, Bruce Willis was huge, and apparently after they got him in the movie, all of the shit they wanted for the movie was greenlit. Like as soon as they got that star to be in it, Miramax or whoever it was like, yeah, no, we'll give you whatever you need.
Who's Zed?
Which makes sense, yeah.
Zed's dead, man.
Zed's dead, baby.
All right, everybody, have a wonderful night. We will see you next week, and I will see you next week as well on the Twitch streams. Thank you for hanging out with us. If you haven't already, please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It does help with the algorithm more than you would think, and we are fighting Skynet every fucking day. So thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.